Let's go Broncos! Behind the scenes, a storm of rumors is brewing, and what I've uncovered might change your perspective on the upcoming playoff matchup. From shocking injury updates to a secret weapon Sean Payton might use, there are details the national media isn't reporting, but I've got it all here. This isn't just another playoff preview. It's about the Broncos about to turn the AFC upside down. We're talking altitude warfare, elite mental strategies from the coaching staff, and a healthier, hungrier, and more dangerous roster than anyone would like to admit. But before I reveal everything I've discovered, do me a favor. If you yelled at your TV during the fourth quarter, hit the like button. And if you're a diehard Broncos fan, leave a comment below saying, "Go Broncos! We can make it to the Super Bowl." Okay, let's go. The Broncos are gearing up for a pivotal rematch against the Buffalo Bills, and the national narrative is already tilted. Denver, despite being the AFC's #1 seed with the most Pro Bowl and All-Pro selections, is still considered the underdog. That's not just disrespect, it's flat-out criminal. We're talking about a team that doubled the next closest franchise in league-wide recognition and has a coaching staff that every other team is trying to poach. So how is it possible that Denver is being doubted? This has only happened twice in NFL history, where the #1 seed coming off a bye was labeled the underdog. And in both those rare cases, 2011 with the 49ers and 2017 with the Eagles, the underdog won. History is on Denver's side, and context matters. The Bills are coming off a bruising war of a game against Jacksonville with a short 6-day turnaround. And they're not just playing any team, they're heading to Denver, facing altitude, travel fatigue, and the loudest, most passionate fan base in the NFL. Let's talk altitude. This is no myth. It's science-backed, player-verified, and straight-up brutal for visiting teams. It takes 9 to 18 days to fully acclimate to the elevation in Denver. These Bills players are trying to do it in hours, sandwiched between grueling 4-hour flights. Even NFL legends like Teddy Bruschi, Kevin Garnett, and LeBron James have spoken about how tough it is to perform at this elevation. It hits your lungs, muscles, and stamina hard. And injuries? Buffalo is falling apart at the seams. Quarterback Josh Allen, who had to dig deep for a Herculean performance just to squeak by the Jaguars, came out of that game banged up. We're talking about a foot injury, a knee scare, a possible concussion, and even a jam-throwing finger. The Bills are spinning it like he'll do everything to play. But make no mistake, he's not at 100%. Add to that Gabe Davis tearing his ACL, and All-Pro safety Jordan Poyer rolled out with a hamstring injury, and it's clear this is a team on life support. And that vaunted Buffalo tight end duo? Yeah, that's been a thorn in our side in the past. But Dalton Kincaid, arguably their best weapon at the position, was spotted in a walking boot. While the Bills are brushing it off as precautionary, he's now dealing with altitude and travel on top of that injury. The truth is, it's a massive red flag, and we'll be watching closely. Let's shift to coaching, another area where the Broncos dominate. Sean Payton has turned this franchise around despite working with the largest dead cap hit in league history. And yet, Denver still boasts 6 All-Pro players and 5 Pro Bowl starters. Meanwhile, Sean McDermott is coaching for his job in Buffalo. Rumors are swirling, Jim Harbaugh, Mike McDaniel, names already floating as potential replacements. Payton has stability, experience, and a clear vision. That's a massive edge when everything's on the line. Defensively, the Broncos are poised to exploit Buffalo's injuries and predictable zone schemes. Without Poyer, their secondary is vulnerable. Zone defense is all about intelligence and timing, and replacing a veteran like Poyer with a less experienced player is a mismatch waiting to be exploited. And with Jaleel McLaughlin's speed and RJ Harvey's power, Denver's outside run game is primed to feast on a weekend edge. Jacksonville showed us the blueprint last week, outside runs. Travis Etienne gashed Buffalo for 6.7 yards per carry on just 10 carries. That's a coaching failure. If they'd stuck to the run, Jacksonville might have won. You can bet Sean Payton saw that film, and if he commits to the ground game, Denver's rushing attack could be the difference maker. Then there's the crowd. Buffalo fans are loud, sure, but nothing compares to a playoff night at Mile High. That stadium is going to shake. Josh Allen's never faced noise like this, altitude like this, pressure like this. And when you factor in that playoff refs are swallowing whistles more often, meaning fewer penalties for Denver, one of the most penalized teams this season, that's another hidden advantage swinging our way. Because when we dig even deeper into the matchups, it becomes crystal clear, this game isn't just winnable, it's a proving ground. One of the narratives floating around national media is that the Broncos are somehow benefiting from luck or scheduling quirks. That's lazy analysis. The reality is, Denver has built this momentum piece by piece, win by win, adapting and evolving each week. Let's talk about the defensive identity that has emerged under Vance Joseph. Early in the season, the Broncos defense took a lot of heat, especially after some ugly outings. But Payton stuck with Joseph, and that decision is now paying off big time. Over the last several weeks, the Broncos defense has become a top 10 unit in critical areas like third down conversion rate, takeaways, and red zone defense. They're getting off the field when it matters and keeping games manageable for the offense. That's where Bo Nix comes in. Yes, he's a rookie. Yes, he's had ups and downs. But when you take away those 23% drops from the last Buffalo game, his performance looks a lot different. This week, we're expecting cleaner execution, and it's not just about talent, it's about chemistry. Nix is starting to build real rhythm with Courtland Sutton, who stepped up as a true number one. He's high-pointing balls, making tough sideline grabs, and moving the chains. Sutton's resurgence, combined with Troy Franklin's deep threat ability, gives the Broncos exactly the kind of explosive yet balanced passing game that can exploit Buffalo's injuries in the secondary. Now, imagine you're a safety trying to contain that, without Jordan Poyer at your side, while gasping for air in the Denver altitude. Add in the threat of McLaughlin sprinting outside, or Harvey pounding through the middle, and suddenly the Bills' defense has to cover every blade of grass. That's the definition of stress for a defensive coordinator, and a recipe for big plays. And we can't forget about Jade Barron. This guy has emerged as a potential secret weapon. We barely saw him in the early weeks, but his snap count has been rising steadily. Now, analysts are predicting he'll play a massive role in this game, possibly shadowing the Bills' tight ends, who are often the focal point of their offense. Barron has shown the versatility and physicality needed to disrupt timing routes, and he could be a key factor in neutralizing one of Buffalo's few remaining strengths. Everything is aligning for Denver. The matchup advantages, the coaching edge, the altitude, the crowd noise, the short rest for Buffalo, it's a perfect storm. And what stands out most is this team's resilience. They're not just winning games, they're grinding out wins against quality opponents, building belief in the locker room and across Broncos country. Sean Payton knows how to win in the playoffs. He's not going to outthink himself. Expect a balanced, physical game plan that attacks Buffalo's weaknesses head-on. He's likely to lean heavily on misdirection and pre-snap motion to confuse an already depleted defense, giving Bo Nix clean looks and easier reads. And when Denver gets into scoring position, watch for the red zone creativity. Payton is known for rub routes, jet sweeps, and maybe even a little trickery to keep the Bills on their heels. Look, no one's saying it's going to be easy. Josh Allen is still a monster when he's on, and even a wounded Buffalo team can be dangerous. But here's the thing, Allen had to empty the tank to get past Jacksonville, and now he's got to do it all over again, on the road, in the elements, against a rested, confident Broncos team. He'll need another legendary performance, and I'm just not sure he's got two of those in the tank on back-to-back weeks, especially with the wear and tear he's carrying. This game isn't just about reaching the AFC Championship, it's about changing the narrative, about reminding the football world that the Denver Broncos are not a rebuilding team or a Cinderella story. They're a force, a franchise with a real shot at hoisting the Lombardi Trophy, not in some distant future, but right now. So Broncos fans, I'll ask you this, do you believe Sean Payton's got the formula to take us all the way? Do you think this is the moment Bo Nix proves he's more than just a promising rookie? Hit that like button if you're riding with the orange and blue, and don't forget to subscribe so you never miss an update. There's another video on the screen now breaking down the potential AFC Championship opponents. Click it, and let's keep this momentum rolling. Go Broncos! Because when we dig even deeper into the matchups, it becomes crystal clear, this game isn't just winnable, it's a proving ground. One of the narratives floating around national media is that the Broncos are somehow benefiting from luck or scheduling quirks. That's lazy analysis. The reality is, Denver has built this momentum piece by piece, win by win, adapting and evolving each week. Let's talk about the defensive identity that has emerged under Vance